Hylics 2 unfortunately does not have any damaging items like dynamite for me to use this time around. I'll be a little bit more creative. Using exclusively gestures that inflict statuses sounds the most enjoyable out of my options. The gestures we're allowed to use are, as I said, any that give a status. That means Disillusion, Soul Crisper, and some others that I'm too lazy to bring up. Anyways, Hylics 2 takes place sometime after the first game, and now there's lots of Waynes having a training arc. We must find old Wayne to hear whatever it is he wants from us. I get lost for an embarrassing amount of time looking for Old Wayne. I find him and he tells me that Gibby's agents are working on reviving him and I must warn our ally post-haste. So I travel west on my quest to warn Blerol of the coming Gibby revival. I get lost in town for another embarrassing amount of time before finding out Blerol has been abducted. Oh, and Pongorma's here too, I guess. And he got a massive glow up from the last game. Good on him, man. Good on you. On our way to Vuax's office and searching the man he kidnapped, we find Dedismall, and she gives her usual spiel about paper cups or whatever. Back on track, I have to play this shitty little mini game, but instead of going through it normally, I choose the God mode option because that game mode sucks, and I'm glad Bombo Genesis does not count as a debuff so that I can avoid it. Keep in mind that I currently only have one attack, and it's exclusive to Wayne. Suffice to say, avoid every enemy like the plague. Because if you get caught, it's basically game over. Anyways, we have to fight a boss now. Again, for this run, I did little to no research, so I am fighting Vuax with only a single attacking party member. It does not go well. After doing the bare minimum research required, the wiki, I find out that there is actually a spell I can get called Soul Crisper, which, as the name implies, lights people on fire. And since it's a television spell, all of my party members can learn it. All you gotta do to unlock it is give this guy some juice and he'll give you his house keys. Soul Crisper will be the main form of damage throughout the rest of this run. In order to cast spells, we need to keep a stockpile of juice in our pockets, as it gives us will, which is basically mana. Luckily, we can purchase some for fairly cheap, thing like $5, but if I were to ever run out of it, we lose. New spell in hand, we retry Vuax. He's surrounded by 4 goons that if I allow to live long enough, will call in backup. So they're a massive thorn in my side, and my main target. I put Disillusion on one and burn the rest. In retaliation, they all stab the hell out of Pongorma. We start burning the main body and finish off one of the... Vuax just killed everyone. Well, with that new information in mind, we try again, this time focusing exclusively on Vuax, in hopes of him killing all of his subordinates himself. My first few attempts ended in complete failure, where I killed Vuax and all but one of his goons, and I ran out of juice and will, so I had to watch as my entire team was slaughtered one by one. Obviously this wasn't working, so I switched strategies back to what I planned originally and killed all of his goons first. With his help, of course. Without the crowd, this fight becomes much easier as Vuax really only attacks one person at a time, and all we have to do is wait for the fire and Disillusion to do their thing. With Vuax defeated, we steal his jail key and send Blerol back home. He tells us that a remnant of Gibby was locked away in a vault, and now agents of Odazir are working on unsealing it. Well, instead of going south like he asked, I go north and find Somnosa, and she asks us to help her out with some people causing a ruckus. And after a very long battle of casting Soul Crisper, drinking juice, casting Disillusion, drinking juice, yada yada yada, we win and Somnosa joins us and gives us a worm key. After restocking our juice supply, we head further north for the worm key thing Somnosa told us about. And I cannot describe this location at all. You're on your own for this one. Anyways, at the end of whatever that was, there's a horn that we obviously blow on, and what the hell am I even looking at? We begin battle with the phone. Listen, the most challenging part of this run is pronouncing any of these stupid ass names. We begin battle with the worm. It's got a shit ton of health, and we've got, honestly, not too bad damage. But unfortunately, the worm puts the squad to sleep and absolutely demolishes us. After this, I use a paper cup and drink some water to permanently increase the party's will by 25 points. With Soul Crisper costing 30 will, that increase is extremely nice. I also grabbed the charge up ability, but at this point I had completely forgotten how it works exactly. I'm currently just searching for a way to increase my chances of killing the worm. Luckily for me, I checked the wiki again and found out about a spell that I've never seen before. Nematode Interface. This spell causes leaking on an enemy, but also the user. Before I go back to the worm, I also kill some early enemies for meat to increase my party's max HP. It's time to fight the worm once more. I cast Disillusion, Soul Crisper, and Nematode Interface right away. Getting all 3 debuffs at once does so much damage, it's actually insane. Dealing at least 40 damage every time it's the worm's turn, plus the initial damage from using the spell, and we've got quite a build. After waiting a while and putting more debuffs on this poor guy, he dies and the shield to Foglast goes down. In Foglast, we search around for a while pressing buttons and stuff. We also find the Sage of Accretions, who gives us a bottomless juice, which means infinite juice boxes for spells. So I don't need to go back and buy more juice boxes. Anyways, Odazir is here too, and we caught him and his followers mid-ritual, and now we must kill Odazir to prevent Gibby's reconstitution. I'm still trying to remember what Charge Up does and hoped it worked on Soul Crisper, which it does not. But you know what it does work with? Foam Armor and Disillusion. So now instead of Foam Armor healing the one person, it heals all of them and it prevents leaking, making Nematode Interface's downside effectively mute. Odazir himself is easy as pie. He casts Lightning Bolt and stuns himself a lot, which is really bad for him against our strategy of wasting as much time as possible. His goon, on the other hand, we can't hurt him. His armor's too strong. Now, the wiki does not mention specifically how to remove it, but the only way that worked was using the snap attack. But it does 0 damage, so in my opinion, it's completely valid and fine. We break his armor, and he dies relatively fast. The pile of goop that was once Odazir tells us that we're too late, and the ritual cannot be stopped now. Gibby has been revived, and combat begins. I start with Disillusion, make Des charge up for Foam Armor, and Somnosa uses Soul Crisper. And in a cruel irony, Gibby throws dynamite at me, and kills my entire team. With Gibby now free, the Hylium Xylem is created above the clouds and turns the townsfolk into even more incomprehensible monsters. So to summarize the 30-minute long journey I had through the Hylium Xylem, if you get into a fight, kill yourself, and go press buttons. And after all of that, we find Gibby bathing in some goop. He tries to tell us that his plan is actually good and tries appealing to Pomgorma, but he too refuses Gibby. With that, he tells us to witness his omnipotence, and combat begins. We do our usual strategy of Wayne casting Disillusion, Des charging, Pomgorma casting Soul Crisper, and Somnosa hitting him with Nematode Interface. With every attack against Gibby, he summons more and more minions. I target Gibby in hopes that, like Fuwax before him, he will kill his own goons. His almost 1000 HP health bar will take too long to chew through if we do not pour all of our resources into killing him. Des gives everyone foam armor to keep us alive in case he does some weird shit. I do stray from our strategy and attack his progenies when I see that he's got every debuff available to us, but soon realize that it won't matter if we kill them, as he'll just summon more. He finally does the move we've been hoping for, Killer Trees. It does over 100 damage to everyone, including his own people. We push forward, making Des truly become the healer of the group and having her charge up foam armor whenever possible. He does manage to kill Pomgorma before he could heal up. After looking through my items for basically the first time, I realized that I have an item that will heal my party for all of their health, and 50% of their will. With that in mind, I resurrect Pomgorma and use it on the next turn. Slowly but surely, Gibby's health is decreasing, and he falls after a 10-minute long battle. With Gibby's defeat, we have beaten Hylics too, with only debuffs. They ignore the armor guy. This was less of a challenge run and more of just an excuse to show off more of Hylics. I absolutely love this game.